Good evening, everybody. We're just getting started here.
مساء الخير لكم جميعا.
Just a moment, Marwan.
Yes.
We're going to start the interpretation in just a moment. I just want to make one or two announcements about how people can enable that, and then we'll move into that. Thank you, Marwan. So as people are starting to join, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Shane Smith, and I have a couple of housekeeping details that I want to get into before we actually start. I want to explain quickly how to use the language interpretation feature. We're offering a new service. This is the first time we're offering this for a virtual event. It's live interpretation, and we're offering that service in Spanish, Hindi, and Arabic. So I'm going to explain now in English how to enable that feature, and then our interpreters will also explain it in each of those languages. So in order to listen to the live interpretation, you're going to click on, I just want to make sure it's enabled. Tricia, is that enabled currently? Before I say it? Yes, okay, I see it now. Thank you. All right. So in order to listen to the live interpretation, there's an icon at the bottom of the screen that says interpretation. It looks like a globe. You select your desired language. Again, the options are Spanish, Hindi, and Arabic. And now I'm going to ask each of our interpreters to say that in each of those languages, just to make sure everyone understands. So I'm going to ask our Spanish interpreter, Alex, to say that now, please. Alex, I believe you have to come out of the Spanish channel and into the main room so that everyone can hear you. Still can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Shane?
Dali, I can hear you, yes. I don't hear Alex. Okay, we're just gonna
reset it.
Yes.
We're resetting it, yes.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience, everybody. This is a new service for us, so we're learning as we go.
Of course.
So if we can explain the process, and then I can open up all the channels, and then they can be selected at that time.
All right. So in just a moment, you're going to see that interpretation icon reappear at the bottom of the screen. In order to join one of the channels, again, you click on that and you select the language that you'd like. And again, we're offering Spanish, Hindi, and Arabic. So Alex, go ahead and say that for us in Spanish, please.
Muy buenas noches, mi nombre es Shane Smith. Estoy dándole una bienvenida para nuestra reunión para poder escoger la interpretación en español, en árabe y en hindú también, que son los tres idiomas que estamos ofreciendo. Un favor de escoger el globo que está al fondo de su pantalla y escoger el idioma de su preferencia.
तो अभी जो है यहाँ पर जो व्यवस्था की गई है जहाँ पर आपको दोभाषी की सुविधा प्राप्त है, इसके लिए आपको जो करना पड़ेगा, नीचे एक पृथ्वी की तरह एक गोल तरीके का एक चिन्ह दिखाई देगा आपको। वहाँ पर आपको अपनी भाषा का चयन करना पड़ेगा। 3 तरह की भाषाएं हैं यहाँ पर, जैसे कि स्पेनिश है, हिंदी है और अरबिक है। तो आप कृपया आपकी भाषा का चयन कीजिए, फिर आप ये पूरी बात जो है आप हिंदी में सुन सकेंगे।
مساء الخير، مرحبا بكم إلى هذه الجلسة. احنا النهارده بنقدم خدمة جديدة وهي خدمة الترجمة الفورية. لو نظرت في الشاشة التي أمامك هتجد على ناحية اليمين من تحت في شيء يشبه الكرة الأرضية. رجاء اضغط عليه، هيظهر لك عدد من اللغات. اكبس على اللغة العربية. عندنا ترجمة فورية متاحة باللغة الإسبانية واللغة الهندية واللغة العربية. اختار اللغة التي تناسبك. شكرا.
All right, thank you. We're going to enable the feature now. Give everybody a moment to join the different channels as they would like. Again, thanks everybody for your patience. We're really pleased to be able to offer this service. So I'll just give it another moment. And okay, we suggest that if you don't have it enabled already, please enable the mute original audio setting. And that is found in that same interpretation button. That way you won't hear the original sound, which is English. If you have any technical difficulties, just message us in the chat and we'll do our best to help you. Again, this is the first time we're offering this service, So we really appreciate your patience, and we also appreciate your feedback since we are learning as we go. Final technical detail. We're sure that many of you will have questions. And one of the main reasons that we do these town halls is to hear from you, the community. So we will have time for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. At any time, you can open up the Q&A feature, send us your questions during the presentation. You just open up that Q&A window and you can submit the questions there. We might reply to you directly by text through that Q&A box, or we may answer your question live if we think that it's something that everybody will want to hear. So with the housekeeping details taken care of, once again, I want to welcome you and thank you all for coming. My name is Shane Smith. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Jersey City Free Public Library. And tonight I'm joined by two of my colleagues. That's Library Director Jeffrey Trzeciak and the Head of Collections and Access, Liz Cartena. And we want to start off by talking a little bit about one of my favorite things about what we've been doing recently at the library is the JC Library Love Stories. And I'll start by sharing my own personal JC Library love story. I grew up here in Jersey City. And when I was young, the Five Corners branch was one of my favorite places to be. I like to joke, but it's not really a joke, that I grew up in the Five Corners branch. And all the wonderful library workers there really made latchkey kids like me feel welcome in the after school hours. And so today, now that I work for the library, I'm inspired by all of my dedicated colleagues who are working every day to make a special second home for a new generation of young people. It really warms my heart. It makes me feel good to be working where I work. And I thank the Jersey City Library for being such a wonderful part of my life then and now. On your screen, you can see just 3 of the JC Library love stories that we have received recently. We love hearing from you. We love reading these stories and sharing them. So please keep sharing them with us. There's a couple ways you can share them. You can post them on social media with the hashtag JCLibraryLove, and we'll find them that way. Or you can email them to us at hello@jclibrary.org. That's HELLO@jclibrary.org. We love hearing from you. The Jersey City Free Public Library has been a cornerstone of this community since its founding in 1889. And in 2020, COVID-19 caused the library to pivot from 130 years of in-person service to an online existence. Our leadership and staff transferred their commitment to the community by expanding our digital offerings, adding engaging online programming. We are proud to share that our library is the largest municipal library in the state of New Jersey. We have 10 locations and a bookmobile. And if you take a look at these JC Library Love Stories, you can see that many of them mention our staff. The library is made up of more than 130 experienced, dedicated staff members. And many of you probably would recognize some of the staff from our recent virtual programs, since you've seen them on the screen. Folks like Ms. Kate Davis, our youth services librarian. She coordinates and hosts our Fun Fridays programming with the Jersey City School District. There's Ms. Tiara and Mr. William, Ms. Tiara Tucker and William Delgado. They offer story times each week. Isaac Green presents varied programming for adults and young adults. He does everything from read alouds to author talks, panel discussions. And then of course, many of you have favorite library staff members from your local branch that you remember seeing, in person. And we want you to know that they miss seeing you just as much as you miss seeing them. And of course, there's so many more library workers behind the scenes who keep the library running smoothly. This library has a great team. It's an honor to be a part of it. So as I mentioned earlier, these town halls are a wonderful opportunity for us to get feedback from you, our patrons. So we have just a quick 4-question poll. We're going to have a couple of these polls during the event. We have 3 of them, and it should only take you just a minute to answer the questions. I'll just give it a second for that poll to come up on screen. There we go. As I mentioned, there are 4 questions there. I'll give you all a minute to go through those and answer them. And this is of course optional, but we love hearing from you, and it really helps us to know a little bit more about you. Like I said, I'll just give that another 20, 30 seconds, something like that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for that. Let's move on to our next topic, and that is our 2020 impact report. 2020 was a challenging year, I think, to say the least. It's a challenging year for our whole city, and it was a challenging year for the whole world. We wanted to just take a step back, capture our achievements, and share them with you, share them with our community. This is the first time that the library has done an impact report, and you all are the first ones to see a preview of it. We are just putting the finishing touches on it now. Everyone who registered for this town hall will be in the first group to receive a digital copy of this by email. So be on the lookout for that. I want to focus a little bit and just let you know about our 3 guiding principles that we put into place right at the beginning of when the pandemic came to Jersey City. Number 1, keep our staff and community healthy. Number 2, keep our staff fully employed and engaged. And number 3, show the community they can depend on the library during a time of crisis. Those have really been our words to live by since March of 2020, and they still are today. And at this point, I want to ask our director, Jeffrey, to take over and talk a little bit about those guiding principles. So if you would, Jeffrey.
Sure. Thank you, Shane, and thank you all for joining us here this evening. As Shane mentioned, and as we all know, it has been a really difficult year, but in spite of the difficulties, the library has continued to grow and develop and evolve in order to meet the different needs of our communities. We made a promise to our staff going into the pandemic that we would keep all of our full-time employees fully employed and fully engaged, and I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to do that. And not only did we keep our full-time staff fully employed, we even grew our staff and hired some really remarkable new staff members. Some of these people and positions include Andrew Luck, who's our new division lead for adult services, Sue Lazary, who's the division lead for organizational development, Tim Decker is our new grant writer, and we hired many new librarians, especially children's librarians, which we've needed desperately all around the system. These include people like Ashley Dahl, who's at the Morgan Library, Elise Sisson, who's the new branch manager at Pavonia, Gus Sakenis is the new branch manager at Five Corners, and Kiana Kirby at the Miller branch. We also hired a new STEAM coordinator, Kate Davis, and a new after-school programs coordinator as well, Mandy Decker. So we have a really strong team, and we're very confident in their abilities and the directions that they're moving us in, and we are confident that 2021 is going to be even more successful. We also, I want to talk a bit about our digital resources because during the pandemic, we also grew our digital resources. We knew that people were in quarantine, were at home, and the library had limited access to print resources. So we grew our digital resources to enable people to still have access, even from home. We are here in Jersey City in one of the most diverse communities in the US, and our community's interests and needs are just as diverse. To keep up with the demand and also to provide equitable access, our library has been innovating with new technologies, new resources, and new services. We hope that you've had a chance to visit our website, jclibrary.org. You can find a lot out about these new resources and services, but I just want to remind you that jclibrary.org, our digital branch, is always open and always on. We have a large selection of new resources, including new databases. We offer homework help tools, career and employment assistance, newspapers, encyclopedias, courses, and more. You can find anything that you might possibly need on our website or through our website. It really is something for everyone. You can also read books, ebooks, e-magazines, watch movies, listen to music, and more. Our digital collection is accessible by smartphone, by e-reader, media player, tablet, laptop, or desktop. And to access our digital branch, all you need is a library card. and you can easily sign up for your digital card as well just by going to jclibrary.org. In 2020, we issued 4,872 digital library cards, and we continue to grow that number as well. If you already have one, please share with your neighbor that they're able to get a digital library card as well. We also added more titles to our digital collections on Overdrive, on Canopy, and on Hoopla as well. We're including more titles now that are requested by our patrons, including materials in other languages such as Spanish, Hindi, Tagalog, and Arabic as well. And I'm excited to announce this evening a new partnership that we have with ProQuest. And we'll be adding Spanish and Arabic ebook collections to our digital collection shortly. These include adult, children, and reference books as well. It will be made available in the next few weeks, and once in place, the library will have the largest foreign language collection in New Jersey. Our head of collections and access services, Liz Cartena, is here with us this evening, and she can say a little bit more about some of the new additions to our digital resources. Liz?
Okay, thank you, Jeffrey, and welcome everybody. We recently added Udemy and Help Now to our database collection. Udemy provides access to more than 6,000 self-paced, on-demand video courses for the most in-demand skills across business, technology, software, and design. You can also achieve personal success with courses on health and well-being, the arts, language learning, and more. And nearly 3,000 courses are taught by instructors in their native language, including French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, and Spanish. We are proud to continue to offer Job Now and Vet Now. Job Now connects you with a free online job coach for personalized expert assistance. From learning where to look for jobs to filling out online applications, brain-fused job coaches can help. Job Now also offers live unemployment benefits coaches who are available to help you. One second. To help you determine unemployment eligibility benefits using state and federal guidelines. Filling out the application and finding the right unemployment resources can be overwhelming, and Job Now can help. Vet Now is similar to Job Now, but is for veterans. And now, thanks to the New Jersey State Library, we are offering Help Now, an online learning platform for elementary, middle, and high school students with access to live tutoring and many subjects. Now we have a quick poll to ask you some questions about your use of our digital services. So we'll give you a few seconds to fill that out. Okay, and again, thanks for helping us out by participating in that poll. Now I'd like to ask Jeffrey back to talk about our big fine free news. Jeffrey?
Thank you, Liz. I do want to talk a little bit about a big change for us here at the Jersey City Free Public Library that's part really of a growing national movement, and that is going fine free. We recognize that a public library exists to serve the community based on the concept of sharing resources and services. And in order to reduce barriers and provide equal access for everyone, we have now also gone fine free. So what does this mean? Fine free really means just that. There are no late charges on our materials any longer. We want to be sure that everyone in our city has access to our resources in the most barrier-free way. So again, no late charges. Libraries that have adopted fine-free policies have found that library card registrations increase, borrowing of materials increases, and more items are actually returned. Students return to the library to use homework resources more frequently, and staff time, which was previously used in collection of fines, can be redirected now from fine handling to actually focusing on services that our patrons need. We are zeroing out any existing overdue balances in all of our patrons so that everyone can start fresh. The question that we have received the most is, will there still be due dates? yes, items still will have due dates. We have a lot of people interested in the materials that we have, so we do have to put due dates on them so that they can be circulated to others who might have an interest in those materials as well. We have created a website with frequently asked questions about our fine-free policy, and you can find that at jclibrary.org/fine-free. Again, that's jclibrary.org/fine-free. Now back over to you, Liz, to update us on the library's current services. Liz.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Our bookmobile has scheduled stops each weekday. You can pick up books from the bookmobile and browse the shelves. Check out our website for the schedule and guidelines. We offer computer access. You can reserve a computer for a 45-minute session during our scheduled hours online or by calling your local library branch. We offer a curbside pickup program. You reserve books online or over the phone, and then you can pick them up at a local branch. And I'll discuss some exciting changes to the program in a minute. If at any time you can't find a link or need assistance, reach out on LibChat, which is available at the bottom of our website. It will put you in touch directly with the library staff member to help you get the information you need. Free mobile printing is available. You can send print jobs from your computer, phone, or mobile device. And print jobs can be picked up during normal operating hours. The prints will be in black and white and are free up to 20 pages. We are accepting returns at all of our branches. You can find the days and times on our website. We will be restarting inter-branch borrowing next month. You will be able to request books from other branches if your local branch does not have it available. Once the book is received, you will be able to schedule a pickup time using our new curbside system, MyLibro. We know the current curbside pickup system has been difficult to use. We have been looking for alternatives and will be using MyLibro starting next month. MyLibro is an application that you can download from an app store. It is user-friendly and we're looking forward to the simpler system. As always, if you have any questions, please contact us. Back to Shane now for some information about upcoming events. Shane?
Thank you, Liz. So in 2020, we actually provided, it's a big number, we provided more than 1,000 virtual programs on Facebook alone. That's over 385 hours of original content, plus programming on YouTube and Zoom as well. And in 2021, we're going to continue to produce over 25 programs a week for children and adults. Some recent offerings have included Egyptian style belly dance, Bollywood dance lessons. We have story hours and read alouds led by library staff multiple times per week. We also have cooking shows, like one of which is with Haifa from Fufu's Kitchen, and we're very excited. Coming up in March, we'll be hosting Jersey City's own Gabby Melian. We also added free one-on-one tech support. That's available every first and third Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. by appointment. We're calling that Tech Tuesdays, and that takes place virtually over Zoom or by phone. And now we're going to throw up our third and final poll. This is about our virtual programs. So give you a second, we'll get that up on the screen and give you a moment or two to fill that out. That's just to get some information from you about what kinds of programming you watch and what kinds of programming you are interested in. I just want to note while you're filling out the poll, I noticed that there's someone in the audience who has their virtual hand up. If you would like to put your question into the Q&A, we will be able to answer it that way for you. Just give you another second or two to finish up that poll. It was one of the longer ones. Let's give it a moment. And all right, I see that we do have some questions in the Q&A. Thank you all for sharing those with us. We are going to get to the Q&A in a few moments. Before we do that, I want to turn it back over to Jeffrey, who would like to share a few words with you before we go into the Q&A. Jeffrey?
Thank you, Shane. And thank you all again for joining us this evening. Before we get to the Q&A, I just wanted to offer some closing remarks. 2020 was certainly a difficult year for all of us, but we also in the library had a lot of success. And this is really due to the remarkable staff that we have. The progress of 2020 is going to continue into 2021. I feel quite confident with the staff, the incredible staff, the dynamic librarians, those who've been with us for a while, the new ones who we've hired recently, will continue to ensure that that forward momentum continues. We're going to continue to see growth within the library. The dedication of our library team, our library staff, from the longest serving staff member to the newest staff member is just truly remarkable. And as a result of this great team and the teamwork, we've really achieved many milestones together over the past year. Most importantly, I think the library helped the city to stay connected and informed about what was happening in our community over 2020. And we communicated about library services, about COVID information, about Census 2020. And we're going to continue to provide that level of service into 2021 as well. Many of the new programs and the initiatives that we implemented in 2020 are going to last beyond the pandemic. We learned a lot about the kinds of resources and services and programs that our community wants and needs. And we think even when things get back to relatively normal, we will continue to offer the same types of programs and services. Our online programming grew tremendously, offering more than 100 programs a month in 2021. And we added new services like curbside and virtual chat as well. And we added lots of new titles in other languages other than English, including Spanish and Arabic as well. And there's more to come. We launched a new strategic plan that was formed using feedback that we received from the community right before we all went into lockdown. We hosted more than a dozen community forums. We created measurable objectives, and now we're starting to put that plan into place with a new strategic planning team, which is led by our Director of Organizational Development. We have a construction bond, and we hope to be announcing soon that we will be receiving a $5 million match from the city. That meeting, I think, is occurring right now, the same time that we're meeting here. So we hope to have news tomorrow morning about that. But this is for a $10 million project to complete the final renovations of the main library, the Priscilla Gardner Main Library, which has been underway for quite some time. And we're going to continue to expand staff, hiring more librarians in particular, and creating positions as well for support staff. And we're really pleased of the work that we've done internally to ensure that staff are recognized, rewarded, and treated equitably. So in addition to hiring people, we will also be looking for opportunities to continue to develop our staff, provide training and support, and promotional opportunities for them as well. All of this is just to say that we have a really talented team in place. And 2020 was just the beginning for the Jersey City Free Public Library, and it's only up from here. And I know going forward that this team is going to take the Jersey City Free Public Library to even greater heights. Unfortunately, I also have to add that I will be leaving the Jersey City Free Public Library. I've accepted a position as Executive Director at the Dayton Metro Library in Dayton, Ohio, which is my hometown. This was not an easy decision for me to make. I've loved working with this staff. I've loved working with this board and the community, and I will miss everyone who's part of it. But again, Dayton, Ohio is my hometown. My family is still there. I actually had my first full-time job. I share a very similar story as Shane's, when he talked about the Five Corners branch. I grew up in the Electracy Doran branch of the Dayton Metro Library, and now I have an opportunity to go back and give back to the organization that really helped me to start my career and helped me to get the kind of education that brought me to this place today. So I'll miss everyone here. I learned a great deal while I was here. The pandemic taught me the importance of being close to family during a crisis, and these opportunities are rare. So again, I want to thank the amazing people who make up the Jersey City Free Public Library, the Board of Trustees, and the community of Jersey City for the opportunity that you've given me during my short time here. And with that, I'll turn it back to Shane. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeffrey. And, you know, thanks for sharing your news with us. We are definitely sorry to see you go, but we certainly wish you the best in Dayton. And with, you know, being closer to your family, we can certainly understand that. And we thank you for the time that you
Thank
spent
you.
with us here. Thank you.
Thank you.